Finally I found a place where my troubles fade away, and the world outside my door can't come in. Found a little piece of mind in my own skin.
In breaking news, Ian from Ian's Rambles has left behind the bright lights of New York City and is rambling along the Cotswold Way. Here he is.
So, Rambles fan, otherwise known as my wife, welcome back to another Ian's Ramble. So it's been, I don't know, a month or so since I got back from New York, and hopefully you've enjoyed some of those videos, which ones have been out so far, but I wanted to get out again and do another proper hike. So here I am. I couldn't decide where to go, to be honest, and I've only got sort of 2 to 3 days, so my plan is to, well, I've got myself to Chipping Campden. I know, that's a miracle on its own. So now I'm going to head off and catch the Cotswold Way, which can start or end in Chipping Campden apparently. So, but it starts here the way I'm doing it, and I'm going to head south towards Cirencester, Stroud, and then the end is in Bath. But you can walk it in the opposite direction. So there's a bunch of signs here. One says Heart of England Way, one says Monarch's Way, one says Cotswold Way. So I think that's a clue. So I'm going to go up that way and then see where I end up, and I'll come back to you in a little bit later on. But as I say, I've got 2 to 3 days and see how far I get. I'm hoping to get to Stroud, which is about the middle, you know, the halfway. So we'll see how we get on. I'm carrying an arthritic knee. I know, I know. But I've bathed it in ibuprofen gel, and I will see how we get on. So I've got about 15 miles to do now to Hayles Fruit Farm, and it is just coming up to 12 o'clock. So yeah, wish me luck, and I'll catch up with you again soon. Bye for now. And this is the first view of the route. I think this is called Dover's Hill. I've just bagged a trig point behind me, but unfortunately they don't keep the hedge down. But promise you, behind those hedges and trees, there's a huge view, as you can see there. Look, and there might be a little bit more over here. There. Dover's Hill, just outside of Chipping Campden. Anyway, I must crack on. I've got a lot of miles to do. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll put a map up somewhere around here showing the whole route, and then showing whenever I finish it in 2 or 3 days, the section that I'm doing. I'll put a little bit on what we did there. So get the trig point, not that it's particularly high, but yeah, let's crack on, let's get some miles out. Talk to you later, bye. Not sure how good this will come out, but that is the view from Broadway Tower, which I'll show you in a sec. There, good place for a tower, eh? So you've got to book a time to go in, but interestingly, as well as the tower obviously, Cotswold's highest castle. That's the entrance to a nuclear bunker by the looks of it. So, oh no, lying. Nuclear bunkers that way somewhere, and I don't know which way I'm going, so I'm gonna have to double check. So these villages that I've been walking through all look like this, absolute chocolate box type style houses and cottages. Oh dear, look, another one. Absolutely stunning. And if you definitely had more time, I'd advise having a tour around this part of the woods. I might have to sit down at this very convenient bench. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'll just check how many miles I've done and how many more I've got to go. But yeah, that's been hard work today so far. So, end of day one. We are set up at Hayles fruit farm near Hayles, and it is a really nice site. I'm parked very conveniently for the water over there and the shower block just right here. So, but there's loads of space. And yes, I'm pitched up. That was a big shift today for me, because it's been a long time since I've done any hiking with a pack anyway. So yeah, it was tough going. But since last time I've been camping, I've got some new bits of kit to show you. So basically, we've got a down sleeping bag. I know everyone keeps saying it, I keep seeing it and reading it. Down sleeping bag, flex tail, zero mattress, R05. I know it's June, but that would be nice and toasty on that. And the Decathlon ultralight pack there, 50+10 I think it is, which has proved to be, you know, pretty good today actually. Gets everything in it obviously, and it's comfortable, and it's got all the pockets on the outside and at the back, a couple of more pockets in the top piece, and yeah, that has been comfortable. So I'm gonna get myself something to eat, rehydrate, because it didn't take enough water with me today, and I'll come back with you later. Bye for now. And we've got one of these Decathlon camp meals. I've had these before, they are really nice. For the money, they're great. 426 calories it gives you, I think, or 500 or something like that anyway. But my plan is, I've got that, I've got some mug shots, I've got another one of those, and of course for breakfast I've got the homemade muesli, which is great. Homemade porridge, sorry. Put about 150 mils of water in there. Perfect. But Winchcombe is not far down the road, so if that isn't enough in the morning to get me going, I will drop into Winchcombe and get some breakfast or something like that on the way. So it's all good. I think I've just been looking at the map. I think we've got a similar sort of distance tomorrow, which I could have done with a bit less, but we'll see how we get going. Yeah, so I'm gonna have my dinner, and I might close it for day 2 today. Yeah, it's been a long one, been a tough one, but we're all good, and we're pitched and ready for tomorrow. So bye for now. Good morning, welcome to day 2. It is at 6:15. What a windy night. Slept really well. Just keeps turning over every so often. First couple of hours out like a light, and then probably saw every hour. Comfortable enough, just couldn't stay asleep. Yeah, comfortable, warm, no problems with that. Very windy, but that was the weather, not me. But yeah, anyway, 6:15, have some breakfast. This is the famous porridge in a bag and then a mug of tea. So I'm going to get all this sorted out and start sorting myself out. So I'll come back to you later on. Good morning again. So this is day 2, and we spent last night at Hayles Fruit Farm just before Winchcombe on the southbound direction. Really great site, really well located. All the facilities are clean, tidy. It's a credit to the keeper. So yeah, I'm all packed up, as you can see. It's just gone 7 and I'm going to crack on into Winchcombe, see if anyone's awake, might get a coffee, and catch up with you later. Bye for now. Can you see those cows? Not nervous. Keep moving, nothing to see. The only thing with the GoPro, I wish it was able to, it's a brilliant camera, but I wish it was able to focus in on the distance there, because there's some such excellent views. Just rolling countryside. So yeah, apart from that, all is good. We're heading into Winchcombe, which is along here somewhere. Yeah, it is still open, that field. It's no big deal. I'm not afraid of no cows. I keep telling my wife the only thing I'm afraid of is an octopus. They're just weird. And luckily, I'm unlikely to see one around here. Anyway. If it wasn't for the cars, you'd think you were in, I don't know, 1820. Hello again. It is about 11:30. Done nearly 10 miles already today, and just crushed some miles out in a company with a young guy called Dan, who is probably towed me along actually the last few miles. But anyway, he's darted off into Cheltenham, and there's Cheltenham. There you go. I don't know how much this is going to come out, but there's Cheltenham in that bowl, basically there. It's a bit of a cloudy day today. We've had a little bit of rain, but not a lot, just a few spits really. So hang on, it's a bit windy up here right now at the moment. I've just climbed up this small ridge to give you that view. Anyway, may not sound like it, but I'm feeling a lot better today. So nearly 10 miles in today, and 10 miles yesterday. I was knackered. That really did me in, but first days I think are always the worst, aren't they? So yeah, according to the plan, I've only got about another 3 or 4 miles to my stop for the day. So I don't know how far I've got through here. I'm going to stop at a convenient spot and have a little look at how far I've definitely got to go to a campsite, and then look at how far that leaves me for tomorrow to get to Stroud. And that's going to be my bailout point, because Cheltenham's here and I don't feel like bailing out yet. So, all right, I will crack on and I'll bring you back later on. Bye for now. Rain. It wouldn't be an Ian's Rambles if it wasn't raining, would it? It was forecast, to be fair, and I reckon it's going to be about, it said 4 millimetres of rain. I'm not counting it, but I think it's more than that. Anyway, onwards, because the first target for today was Coldgate Farm, which is about a quarter of a mile down here. So I'm going to see what's there, but I think I need to carry on for a bit more. Later, bye. Imagine how nice that view would have been in the sunshine. Just imagine. Yeah, bit wet now. I think about a couple of miles to go to my next campsite. So hopefully, I'm hoping for a break in the rain to pitch, but we'll see. Definitely ready to pack up for the day now. Catches up with you in the last 2 or 3 miles, I think. How many miles am I in? Hang on a minute. Just over 14 miles for the day. So yeah, that would be a good place to stop. You're not going to believe this, but a couple of hours ago it was absolutely teeming it down. And there is video to prove it. I got here, which was my intended target for today. Big Skies Glamping and Camping. And I was going to pitch over in a corner somewhere. That was the plan. Over there, look, there's pitches everywhere, spaces. But I got here and I was so wet. And the proprietor came to the hut, which is down there. There's a great little shower block just down there. Honesty shop and a kettle and all that sort of stuff. So I just inquired about one of these, and bless her, she did me a discount. So everything's drying out, and yeah, I was thoroughly soaked, as is the norm on Ian's Rambles. And it's all pretty much dry now. Shoes aren't dry yet, which is a bit of a worry. But everything else is dry. I've just had some decathlon. Oh, I can't even remember what it was now. Spaghetti bolognese, I think. And it was actually really nice again. So I'd recommend those. It is nice to have the luxury. There's extra loads of space in there. Anyway, when I got here, I needed to be able to spread my stuff out and dry it out. That's my excuse anyway. So, yeah, casualty of the rain. I hope the shoes should dry out in this sunshine. Casualty of the rain is my charging lead, or one of the charging leads. So I need to be mindful of what I'm charging. But apart from that, feel good again. Yeah, decent. Legs feel alright. Everything seems to feel alright anyway. But tomorrow's plan is to get to Stroud. And I think the Cotswold Way gets me to Painswick, and then it sort of deviates way out of the way, and it circles around Stroud. And since I've got to get into Stroud, I might go to Painswick and see if there's a bus, because it's about 10 minutes or something by bus, and it's better than walking on a road. So that's the plan for tomorrow. Get back to the south coast for tomorrow night, and that will be about half done actually in the 3 days. So yeah, pretty happy with that, to be honest. So yeah, that was day 2. I am enjoying the sunshine, and I will sign off day 2 here. See you soon. Bye. Good morning, Rambles fans. It's just coming up to 6:30 on day 3. Beautiful morning as opposed to yesterday afternoon. And yeah, let's get cracking. I need to figure out which way it is. Was that way or that way? I don't know. All right then, I'll bring you back later on. Bye. Still Cheltenham, so we've come around this all there and then back, and we need to get going south, hopefully at the top of this hill. So heading to Painswick. Knees telling me today, and the hips are telling me today, but the sun is out. It's a beautiful morning. Let's get cracking. On top of Leckhampton Hill, which was the site of an Iron Age hill fort. I'm at that end at the moment. I'm going to go right across there. Well, also looks like it was quarried at one point or another. Over that side, look. And there's a burial mound right there, I think. Anyway, crack on. Another view for you. So we've just come off the top of that hill, down and then back up. And then, believe it or not, that over there is still Cheltenham, and this I think is Brockworth, and Gloucester is just over that way a little bit. And that's a really noisy roadworks. And we're going to go over there. Next stop, a place called Birdlip, but hopefully I'm going to get some breakfast there, and that'll be halfway for today. Later, bye. In case you don't know, just keep looking for those signs and the acorn. and generally speaking they'll be accurate unless someone's going to play a joke on you. So most of the time you can follow these trails on those signs alone, but occasionally you'll come across corners, or corners of a field maybe, or like a fork in a road, and it's a little bit more, you just have to might refer to a map to understand the actual direction. I'm being careful here now because there's a lot of this. And I've already gone over about 3 times this morning on my ankle. So I don't know, you just got to, you know, these things are an absolute godsend, to be honest. They help as you go along anyway, take a load of the strain off your joints. So anyway, public information, look for the yellow signs with the acorns on the posts. You won't go far wrong. So today has mostly been forest walks, in and out generally, but mostly it's been like this. This one's Buckholt Wood. So this is Painswick Village. Another beautiful Cotswold village. And I'm trying to find which church this is, but I can't see a sign. But look at, well, I'm amazed, I'm looking at all these trees all being clipped like this. So tourist information is down there, so I'm going to try and find where I can get a bus to Stroud to get me to the trains that take me back to the Isle of Wight. So I will do another little circuit around here, and I'm going to end it there. Ian's Rambles, half of Cotswold's Way done. About 15 miles a day, and it's just coming up, it's just past 1 o'clock today, so probably could have done a few more, but these are where my public transport is. So yeah, it's been a lovely few days, bit of rain yesterday, but it turned out nice in the end. What can I tell you? I'm looking forward to my pint. I might even share that with you later on. So, but for now, I'm going to say goodbye and catch up on the next ramble. Take care, bye.
That's it for this edition of Ian's Rambles. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. From us all here, thank you for watching. Until next time.